license denial, revocation for a minimum of 5 years, license plate confiscation, vehicle immobilization up to 180 days, and administrative fees. 7. If serious injuries occur, up to 5 years in prison or a $1,000 to $5,000 fine or both. Driver's license denial, revocation for a minimum of 5 years. License plate confiscation, vehicle immobilization up to 180 days, and administrative fees. 8. For a third or subsequent offense within 10 years, felony, driver's license denial, revocation for a minimum of 5 years, license plate confiscation, vehicle immobilization up to 3 years. Possible vehicle forfeiture, registration, denial of all owned and leased vehicles, 6 points on your driving record, and administration.
Alcohol-impaired driving. Page 4 of 13. Bodily alcohol content BAC. Alcohol begins to affect a person's ability to function moments after it enters the body. The amount of alcohol present in the bloodstream is called bodily alcohol content. Precise legal measurements are used to determine the amount of alcohol in the body, and if a driver is impaired or illegally driving under the influence. It is a criminal offense in all 50 states to operate a motor vehicle at or above 0.08 grams per deciliter. Lower BAC levels apply to young drivers under 21 and commercial vehicle operators. Many factors can affect an individual's BAC, such as gender, weight, number of drinks, and size of drinks. Also, the more a person drinks, the higher their BAC. Alcohol is metabolized by the liver, where dehydrogenase enzymes break down the alcohol. The BAC level does go down after the body begins to eliminate alcohol from the system. But this is a very slow process that does not occur at the same pace for everyone. Operating while intoxicated, OWI Section 257.625. 1. An alcohol concentration of 0.08 or higher is considered as significant evidence that you were driving while under the influence. 2. For a first offense, a fine of not more than $500, up to 93 days in jail or up to 360 hours of community service, driver's license suspension for 30 days. Followed by restrictions for 150 days, 6 points on your driving record, and administrative fees. 3. If death occurs, up to 15 years in prison or a $2,500 to $10,000 fine or both. Emergency responder death. Up to 20 years in prison or a $2,500 to $10,000 fine or both. Driver's license denial, revocation for a minimum of 1 year, license plate confiscation. Vehicle immobilization up to 180 days, and administrative fees. 4. If serious injuries occur, up to 5 years in prison or a $1,000 to $5,000 fine or both. Driver's license denial, revocation for a minimum of 1 year. License plate confiscation, vehicle immobilization up to 180 days, and administrative fees. 5. For a second offense within 7 years, a fine of not more than $1,000, up to 1 year in jail or up to 90 days of community service. 1 year license suspension, license plate confiscation, vehicle immobilization for up to 180 days, 6 points on your driving record, and administrative fees. 6. If death occurs, up to 15 years in prison or a $2,500 to $10,000 fine or both. Emergency responder death. Up to 20 years in prison or a $2,500 to $10,000 fine or both. Driver's license denial, revocation for a minimum of 5 years, license plate confiscation. Vehicle immobilization up to 180 days, and administrative fees. 7. If serious injuries occur, up to 5 years in prison or a $1,000 to $5,000 fine or both. Driver's license denial, revocation for a minimum of 5 years. License plate confiscation, vehicle immobilization up to 180 days, and administrative fees. 8. For a third or subsequent offense within 10 years, felony, driver's license denial, revocation for a minimum of 5 years, license plate confiscation, vehicle immobilization up to 3 years. Possible vehicle forfeiture, registration, denial of all owned and leased vehicles, 6 points on your driving record, and administrative fees. Implied consent, Section 257.625a. Any person who drives or attempts to drive a motor vehicle on a highway or on any private property in Michigan is deemed to have consented to take a chemical test if the person should be detained on suspicion of driving or attempting to drive while under the influence of alcohol or any drug. If you refuse the test, 6 points will be added to your driving record and your license will be suspended for 1 year. If you are arrested a second time in 7 years and again refuse the test, 6 points will be added to your driving record and your license will be suspended for 2 years. Open intoxicants in a motor vehicle, Section 257.624a. You may not consume an alcoholic beverage in the passenger area of a motor vehicle, even if the vehicle is stopped or standing. The penalties for violating this law are: 1. Up to a $100 fine. 2. First offense, no action is taken against driver's license. 3. Second offense, driver's license is suspended for 30 days, restricted for 60 days. 4. Third offense, driver's license is suspended for 60 days, restricted for 305 days. 5. Alcohol screening may be required. 6. 2 points on your driving record. Alcohol-impaired driving. Page 5 of 13. Eliminating alcohol. Males have higher amounts of the dehydrogenase enzyme, so males can eliminate alcohol faster. Men also have more water in their bodies than women, so they can dilute alcohol faster. Females take longer to eliminate alcohol than males, even though they might be the same weight. Elapsed time is also a factor. For most males, it takes the liver around 1 hour to process approximately 1 drink or 1 shot of liquor. Typically for females it takes longer. 1 drink equals 1 12-ounce beer, a 5-ounce glass of wine, or 1 shot 1.5 ounces of hard liquor or spirits. No matter what you have heard, there is no way to disguise BAC or speed up the liver's elimination process. The following charts provide a quick reference to see the relationship of drinking and BAC. Notice the difference between males and females. No matter what age, drinking and driving do not mix, it is just too dangerous to consider. There are so many other people who do not obey the rules that the risk of sharing the road with an impaired driver is already high enough. Remember, 3 in every 10 Americans will be involved in an alcohol-related crash at some time in their lives. Men, approximate blood alcohol percentage, drinks body weight in pounds, 100 sextillion, 120 quintillion, 140 quadrillion, 160 trillion, 180 billion, 200 million, 220,000, 1.0, 4.0, 3.0, 3.0, 2.0, 2.0, 2.0, 2.02 impairment. Begins 2.0, 8.0, 6.0, 5.0, 3.11.0, 9.0, 8.0, 7.0, 6.0, 6.0, 5.0, 5, 4.1, 5.1, 2.11.0, 9.0, 8.0, 8. 6.2, 3.1, 9.1, 6.1, 4.1, 3.11.1, 0.09 legally impaired. Criminal penalties 7.2, 6.2, 2.1, 9.1, 9.34.28.24.21.19. Alcohol-impaired driving. Page 6 of 13. Intervention techniques. Most people who drink to relax or have fun. This is called recreational drinking. Drinking in excess or frequently to obtain the side effects of alcohol is classified as alcohol abuse. The third reason for drinking is classified as experimentation, which is typically associated with teenagers who have not yet experienced the effects of alcohol on their own system. Unfortunately, most people have a limited knowledge about alcohol and how it impacts their judgment and health. Regardless of the reason, the effects of alcohol are unpredictable. The hosts. As a host, do not keep everyone's glass full and do not expect your guests to drink to excess in order to enjoy themselves. Serve amounts that are comparable to what would be served in a bar. Your guests need to understand how much alcohol they are consuming in the drinks you have prepared. Try to monitor and control the amount being consumed. Serve high-protein or high-starch foods which slow the absorption of alcohol. It is everyone's social responsibility to keep drinkers from driving. Establish designated drivers or carpools in advance. Try to include non-alcoholic beverages and non-drinkers at social gatherings. Ask the non-drinkers if they can provide transportation. Responsible adults should limit their alcohol consumption. Preventing drinking in driving situations is not always easy. Rely on your best judgment and call a cab if your driver has been drinking. As a host, be prepared for overnight guests just in case someone needs to stay over. Consider the potential legal liabilities for providing alcohol to guests and make an informed, safe decision.
I've seen all the drunk driving videos.
My son was 19.
That can never happen to me.
It's a Friday night.
I've seen you now that night.
There's another young man who's having a bad day. 6 40-ounce Mickeys, 4 lines of meth, 2 joints and a couple of light beers. Blue 7 red lights. 5.5 seconds later. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Rear-ended Jeremy, the car exploded. Jeremy was killed instantly. That's a praise.
It was like it was okay to go out and drink and what I thought was having fun.
What I thought was having fun.
The coroner was already telling my wife, my other two children, they couldn't identify the person in the car. All I had left was a license plate that said someone at this address was registered to this car.
Me and my friends always went out drinking, and they always wanted me to drive because I drove the best. And nothing would ever happen. And I seen all the drunk driving videos and the ads and the commercials, and I thought, oh, that can never happen to me. But it did. It didn't just happen to me. It happened to all of us. Everyone, especially you, Jeremy. Why can't I realize everything that I realize now? Because I heard it all. I heard it all, and I didn't pay any attention to it. It was like I'd see the drunk driving ads and all that, and it's like that couldn't be a part of my life. I look back now and it makes me sick. I can't even believe that I did those things. And I've been here now for 3 years, and I think about it constantly. Always. I always think about it. It's not just the drinking and driving, it's about all the choices in your life. There's things that led up to that.
Channel 3's Lisa Breckenridge joins us today with more on the accident and how friends and family are remembering the teenager. Lisa?
Sarah, Jeremy Turner was about to become the man that everyone hoped he would be. Instead, he became the victim of a hit-and-run accident. Officers say the driver of the other car had been speeding and evading officers when he plowed into the back of Jeremy's car. Then the driver fled the scene, leaving Jeremy in the burning car. It's a horrible picture for anyone to live with, and that's why his family is focusing on the positive life he led.
I have peace where he's at. I don't thank God that he's dead, but I thank God that I have some peace. A week from now I may, and as we learn more about who and what, I may feel differently.
The who and what is still under investigation, but so far officers say the driver of this car, 23-year-old Steve Leslie, rear-ended Jeremy's car, causing it to explode early Saturday morning. Leslie was booked for murder, felony drunk driving, felony hit and run, and felony evading officers.
We have a 1055, a deceased on scene. We have one patient in the front of the vehicle that's entrapped, needs to be extricated. We have a driver that has relatively minor injuries at this time.
Today I realized I'll never hear your car race down the driveway or watch amazed as you consume an entire pizza. I'll never again hear you complain about having to listen to James Taylor. These are things I took for granted, and right now I would have them back in a heartbeat if possible. You were like every other kid in so many ways. You sometimes amazed us, and sometimes we wanted to choke the living daylights out of you. Always I hoped you knew, and I think you did, that you were utterly loved. At least, at the very least, I am eternally grateful to God He allowed you to spend even 18 years as my son.
Well, femur fracture right now primarily is not breathing.
There are so many things I realize now that I want you to know. I have no regrets for having canceled meetings or rearranged appointments or taken less speaking engagements in order to work in your classrooms, coach basketball teams, attend games, or even go to open houses. I only regret that I did not cancel more of them. I loved our late night talks before bed. I just wish I had been more engaged. I didn't understand how priceless those times would be.
White t-shirt, blue jeans, white shoes, 2 white shoes, 2 white socks.
I was more amazed than you know that you taught yourself to play the guitar. I learned persistence from you. I'll bet that surprises you.
Know anything about his family or folks or anything? Not yet.
I also learned how important eye contact is from you. Something I'm going to try to remember in the future. Now, this is so strange for me because I've always been the one standing with others at the hospital bed, or the funeral parlor, or at the gravesite. I would tell others that death, especially the death of a young person, was the ultimate obscenity. It was always someone else's grandmother, uncle, daughter, or son. But this time you were mine. I have no regrets that I was able to tell you how much I loved you. I only wish I had said it more. And finally, I hope you know that I was crazy about you.
At this point, we've declared it brain dead.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, it means no hope. There's no hope for his brain to recover, and the rest of his body, over the course of the next day or two, maybe even quicker than that, will also deteriorate. His heart and his lungs are working at the moment, but that will not last. But organ donation is a possibility. And someone will come talk to you about that. We want to give you a little bit of time first. So, we don't want to hit you with that right away.
I could sit here and try to describe the black hole that your death leaves in my life. I could bemoan your absence or rail at the injustice. Somehow, right now, it would seem inconsequential. Instead, what I need to do right now is to write you, to retrace the mark that your life left on me, to etch your presence more permanently into my heart. You'll never know what it felt like to hear the doctor say it's a boy. Every father who hears those words dreams about the kind of son that he would like, and I was no different. And believe it or not, you were a gift to me.
Quit.
Brooks, there will never be another son like you were to me. Thank you for loving me back. As gaping a hole as your death leaves in our lives, the only thing that makes it bearable is knowing that it is not forever.
I love you.
You didn't get shortchanged by death. You got swallowed up by life. But this is one thing, I can't wait to see you again. Love, Dad.
the worst place I've ever been in my life.
In other news, a night of reckless driving last December killed an innocent teenager. Today, the 23-year-old Sacramento man convicted of killing him learned his fate. Channel 3's Lisa Breckenridge was in court today and joins us live from the newsroom.
Sarah, today 23-year-old Stephen Leslie apologized to his family and to the family of his victim for all the pain that he has caused. A jury found him guilty of second-degree murder in the killing of a popular all-around good kid who was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And today it was a very emotional sentencing hearing for all involved.
Today, his loved ones waited to hear the fate of 23-year-old Stephen Leslie.
We had the opportunity at the sentencing to communicate. And that same offer of hope, forgiveness, was offered to Stephen Leslie. I forgave him the day it happened. Don't ask me how. I'm a human being. I mourn the loss, but I don't hate that person.
The judge sentenced Leslie to the recommended term of 17 years to life in state prison.
The consequence is still real. Stephen's spending 17 to life, hard time. 17 to life, hard time. He has a wife and a 2-year-old son when he went to prison. That boy is 5 now.
I don't get to see my son grow up. Me and my wife dreamed about having a son. And now I don't watch him grow. I miss the little things that he does. I miss his birthdays. I missed his first fishing trip.
Stephen wrote us a letter in October, 3 years later.